Welcome back to Tales from the Cassette. I am Jeff Beach.
I'm Joey Graves.
And I think this is our second show of the new year. And this week, we are here to talk about the best, our favorite debut album from the 1970s, from the whole decade. And this is going to be a series we've been talking about. Best debut from a decade, and then we're going to tackle some hair band debuts, which may or may not be on these lists in a future date.
Correct. I'm sure there will be.
Yes. So, but we're going to talk about best debut of the 70s today. So, before we do, though, we'll get this out of the way. Please subscribe. We are on YouTube. We are on Twitter X. We are on Facebook. You can like, subscribe, comment, share, do all of that. We're in the 70s still for subscribers. Is that right?
78.
78. Okay. 22 away. And then we make a donation to a charity.
Yes.
Yes.
We've been stuck on 78 for some time. So please subscribe.
I think we were at 76 earlier this month. So I think we did gain 2 somewhere in there.
Okay. All right.
I think we're still going.
So what I'm saying is just please send it to your friends, recommend your friends listen to it, or at least subscribe. I'm sure we will have a topic your family and friends would love to listen to one day. If we
never know, our account could be highly volatile, and instead of just going up a few at a time, what might be happening is we're losing like 80 a day and then gaining 88 a day. So it's going back and forth. And we're just not seeing the swings. That's what I'm going to think it is. Okay. So, but we're going to talk about best debut. But, we always talk a little bit about what's in the news. So yesterday, Paul Stanley's birthday.
74.
74. Pretty impressive.
Of course, he's had a lot of work done.
Yes.
He does not look 74. The man takes care of himself.
Mm-hmm.
He rides a bike long distance, and he looks great for 74.
Yes. So in related news with that, so I've been listening to, some of our competition podcasts. And lately I've been listening to Three Sides of the Coin. Have you listened to that one before?
Yep, I have.
And 2 very interesting, I thought, episodes where they talked to one of the heads at Universal Music.
Yes, I listened to that.
Yep. That was excellent. And then they had the most recent one. They had I can't remember the guy's name, but he was the one that found some of the Alive tapes back in the 90s that did not get used. And instead, some of those songs ended up on You Wanted the Best, You Got the Best. But both episodes were very interesting just in terms of how all this music has been stored over the years. And every time a new music company shows up, from, back in the days of Casablanca to Mercury to Universal now, and now now with Pop House in the mix, and just how those things get passed around. And it was interesting, just what's out there and how they find it and how they can use it. And it sounds like at least the last one I listened to, there's a lot of projects on the way.
Yeah, I think he stated they're getting ready to announce something that's going to be a very welcome announcement by Kiss fan.
Yes, so it sounds like there's a ton out there coming. Of course, we talked a little bit about Dress to Kill. I don't think we had an episode on Dress to Kill or the live Fox set, but we did listen to those. We talked a little bit about that, but it sounds like there's many more off the soundboards and projects coming in the new year soon. So, and I've heard that on several shows. So pretty interesting. But I thought that was a cool episode. I think I want to go work there. Universal.
I thought it was neat how they store everything excuse me, in a mountain, stone mountain,
in a bunker.
Pennsylvania, in a bunker.
Yeah,
And there's a studio there, and
yeah, yeah.
down under the mountain, and so it
Down
never has
under.
to leave.
I thought that was pretty cool. So very interesting. They were, like we try to keep our episodes under 40 minutes, and those were both like an hour and a half. But I was very into it. Yeah. So I don't know what the light I've got on tonight makes it look like I'm a ghost. So apologize if I'm blinding anybody out there today. Myself on the screen, I look like I'm bright white. Let's see if I can tone that down. Just
You're not bad.
not bad. Okay. All right.
Maybe not as bad as you think.
All right. We'll go with that. No, not that. Not that. How's that? Maybe that's a little bit better. I don't know.
There you go.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about best debuts from the 70s. If you've got a debut album you're in mind and it's not among the, classic rock, what we would listen to, there's a lot out there. I was looking at the list of all debuts and I'm like, yeah, those can't make my topic list. But this is my favorite debut albums and your favorite debut albums from the 70s.
Okay.
And I did give it a little bit of criteria because there were some really great there were some albums from great bands that debuted in the 70s, but that first album was not. It was far from their best. So, a couple interesting ones. So, like Journey had a debut album in the 70s. That is not one of their best albums. And it's really before what you would classify as Journey.
It's more artsy, the artsy Journey.
Yeah, and Queen debuted in the 70s, but that is their debut album, and while it's got some good songs on it, is far cry from what they put out down the road.
Well, I also chose mine, not really as favorites of mine, but the impact
they'd had on you.
These debuts had long term.
Yes. Okay. How many do you have?
I have.
Well, good. I have 5, and then I have 2 that didn't make the list, but I thought should get mentioned, and not talked about very much. But do you want me to tell you what those are real quick before we go?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. The first one, and this one I considered this for my top 5, but it was Tom Petty's and the Heartbreakers debut. Yeah, it's a good album. It's got two great songs on it. Breakdown, which is probably my favorite song of his, and then American Girl. Great debut album. And he only gets better over time.
Tom Petty was a great songwriter. I hate that he passed as he did.
I know. We had tickets to his final tour and didn't go, and sold the tickets, couldn't make it, and then he passed. Yeah, sometime after that. So never got to see him. My other debut album is Toto.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Toto's debut album. If you're not, most people know who Toto is, but they were just session musicians playing for 70s artists. They were all over Steely Dan and bands like that, and have played for just about everybody in the studio. So they eventually, all these studio musicians got together and put together a band named Toto and put a debut album out, which is very fun album, all over the place, but very fun. And it has Hold the Line, which everybody knows.
I mean, Toto for years. I mean, their musicianship is just, there's nobody on par with them.
No, it's a very fun album, and it's if you're familiar with Toto's work around Rosanna and Africa, this is totally different. So
it's artsy Toto.
It's artsy Toto. It's a very fun album. I recommend it. Good song to go listen to, I think. If you want to get a good, well, you can listen to the opening, which is an instrumental. It's just them jamming. And then another song that you wouldn't know is "Girl Goodbye," and that's a good song.
Girl Goodbye. Very good song.
Okay. I had one more, and the other one. So I had three. Apologize. Was Foreigner's debut. Yeah, and so which has feels like the first time on it. Cold as Ice.
We'll go ahead and spoil my.
Oh, you got that on your list.
Foreigner's debut album is on my list.
Okay, well, good. Good. You can talk about that then.
Yeah, I mean, this was the introduction. This was the introduction. It feels like the first time. Cold as Ice. Long way home.
Mm-hmm.
What a duo, Mick Jones and Lou Gramm. Fantastic songwriting. Mick Jones, he can write a hook or could write a hook. So this had to be on my my list.
Yeah, I considered it. So it had the three singles, released in 1977, debut, big band at that time. So not just the four that you kind of saw with Foreigner 4 later on when they became, super huge, but they had, I guess, 6 official members at that time. And all were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah, this was on my just miss list. But love Foreigner.
Again, this was a lot of several of my albums are because of the impact. Yep. Like this was like a true introduction of bands that may have become huge later on. But they had very, very strong debut albums. Yep. And I had to put Foreigner on this list.
And this is a multi-platinum album, so sold very well. Still sells today because Cold as Ice and Feels Like the First Time are used in so many shows and movies, and so they, with another podcast I recently listened to, maybe it was they were interviewing Steve Lukather from Toto, and he was talking about the use of songs in movies and shows, and he's like the downloads today for stuff from the 70s for them is just crazy. And he said it's funny, they pull like Spotify's user list for who's listening, and average ages are like 25 to 35. Yeah, for their music. Foreigner sees the same thing. Of course, Foreigner is on the road. It's not the there's nobody from the original band touring, which is sad. Mick Jones is still around, but he is not able to tour.
Yeah, he has Parkinson's, unable to.
Now Lou Gramm does show up at some of the shows with him.
Yeah,
here and there.
I mean, but from what I gather, this is supposedly his last go around as well. He's going to retire.
Yeah. I saw Lou Gramm about 7 years ago, so he was okay.
Totally on a different subject. Have you seen Don Dawkins?
No.
So Don had a surgery on his back, and it affected his nerves. So I think it's his right hand, he can't hold anything with his right hand.
Yeah.
And his voice is not anywhere near what it was in the 80s, 90s. I mean, it's bad. But now he's actually walking up using his left hand, using a cane. I mean, he's got a cane. He can't use his other. Man, you just need to call it a day.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. All right. I will give you a debut. Actually, I'm going to do it since I have this sitting here. This is one of my top 5. It might be on your list. It likely is on your list. And it's this one.
Uh,
Maybe
yes, it is on my list.
it was on the list. Now, the reason I pulled this up is because I went to a record store. So, local record store, Phil's Records is what it's called here in Northern Kentucky. Posted something last weekend to say that a bunch of Kiss albums showed up. Somebody dumped their entire catalog. Everything was there. Elder, Asylum, Creatures of the Night. I bought this one. I didn't have it, but it is also a Casablanca album. It's the original. And they had a bunch of those. They had the Dynasty with the poster in it.
Wow.
So it was like you know, Christmas shopping, and you had to choose because I didn't want to go out of there with, in the hundreds. So so I bought this one and Hotter Than Hell were both the Casablanca issues. But they had basically every album, even smashes, thrashes, and hits on vinyl.
Well, I didn't even know it came out on vinyl.
Yeah, a guy was shopping next to me, and he had got there before me, and he had that in his hand, and he's like, "You want this one?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want that." But yes, I was very happy to find this one in perfect condition. The sleeves in great condition, so it's got the Casablanca.
Wow, yeah, it's great condition. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the two I bought.
Well, again, here we are 53 years later, 52 years later, and we're still talking about that band.
Yes. And what I like about that album is it's still, the songs on that album are still big part of their shows.
Oh, yeah.
Strutter, Firehouse, Cold Gin, Deuce. I mean, those things are staples for them. This thing is what was the? I just had it a minute ago. How many albums? How many albums has this thing sold now? It's multi-platinum. We'll go with that.
Oh yeah, definitely more.
I had the number for this. This one does have Kissin' Time on it. So very, very cool. And a big part of, I think people discovered this album more at later years, and realized how big of a band this was. So very, very good. So they're in my top. That's one of my honorable mentions. Is it one of yours?
No, it's in my 5.
Oh, it's in your 5. That's what I'm talking. That was in my 5.
Yeah, that was in my 5.
That was in my 5. So yeah,
you have gotten 2 out of my 5.
Well, the one was an honorable mention.
Well, for me, it was in my 5.
Yeah, I know. All right. Well, let's go to your number. You've given 1 in your top 5. You got 2 in your top 5. Sorry, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I have other ones that I can.
You got 3 left. I've got 4.
I mean, I can go. At the time, I will say this was a great introduction of women in hard rock.
Okay, who's this? I don't have a female, unfortunately.
This is Heart.
Oh.
Dreamboat Annie.
Yep. Okay.
Magic Man. This is it. This is crazy. Crazy on You.
Mm-hmm.
What a strong debut, and what a statement that women can also rock.
Yeah.
And Ann Wilson has one of the best. Well, she used to anyway. One of the best singers ever to live. And then Nancy, she could play guitar pretty damn well.
Yeah. So love Heart stuff from the 70s.
Yeah. So I just felt this was also a statement of great songs, but also women.
Favorite Heart song?
I say Barracuda. Yeah, not on this album, but Barracuda.
My favorite Heart song is Straight On. What about you? Have a favorite? I have a favorite 80s song from Heart. I heard it today too.
Favorite 80s song?
I'm not a huge fan of their 80s stuff, but I like them. It's sang by Nancy.
Oh, These Dreams?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Great song. So it's one of the few in the 80s that I like.
She's hot.
Yeah. Yeah. So great.
She's I mean, you look at the photos of Anne back in the 70s. I mean,
Yeah.
just absolutely stunning women and very, very talented. So
Yes. Yeah. Great debut. All right. My next one is Van Halen. Van Halen's debut. We had a show about Van Halen.
yeah,
Listen to that.
you keep on taking my
Is that another one?
my list.
Yeah, we have two similar. Well, we can still talk about them. It's shortening the show. It's saving our runtime. So this album is just loaded.
Oh, yeah.
Running with the Devil, Eruption. You Really Got Me, the Kinks
Talking
cover.
about love, Jamie's crying. I mean,
Feel Your Love Tonight, Ice Cream Man. Yeah, this album is loaded. Sold, I don't know, 10, 15 million copies at this point. Just an amazing debut. It's really cool to hear. I mean, Van Halen was around for a while before they put this album out because they were all over the LA nightclubs, playing their music in backyards and clubs and everywhere else. Do have a Kiss connection, right? Yeah.
Gene, yeah.
Gene trying to produce them. So, but yeah, this album, what did I see in the number? It's diamond status for its sales. Which is 10 times, I believe. And that was a long time ago, so it's probably way beyond that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a bad song on the album. It's fantastic.
It is a fun album. So that's on my top 5.
That is in my top 5. That was going to be my number 2.
Okay. All right. I didn't rank them besides the number 1.
Well, I got my number 1 is going to be not on your list.
My number 1's probably not on yours. All right. Do you have? I keep taking yours, so I'll let you throw one out.
I am never have been a huge fan of theirs, but a little band in 1972 released a debut album.
Yes.
And the band was the Eagles.
Oh, I didn't have the Eagles on my list. So there you go. You got to stand alone.
That is, Take It Easy, Witchy Woman, Peaceful, Easy Feeling. All of those came from the debut album.
Yeah, that it is a good album. I thought about them for a quick moment, and just thought the debut was okay on my list, but it is, I mean, Witchy Woman and Take It Easy are amazing songs.
And I have to go. I mean, there's so many albums that could have been, or bands that could have been chosen for this. I mean, Boston is on everybody's list for best debut albums.
Yep.
We'll
get to that in a moment.
Okay. Well, to me, his guitar playing, the sound that he produced, I don't know, kind of sounds redundant sometimes.
Yeah. So. We're talking about Van Halen, or we're talking about Eagles.
Okay.
We'll get to Boston in a minute.
Well, I mean, this is their debut album, 1972. I was 2 years old. Let's see, 2 years and 6 months when it was released in June 1st. Again, this was the introduction of a huge band that's still performing today.
Mm-hmm.
And with different members, mostly, of course. But you still have Don Henley playing today, and Glenn Fry's son
Yep.
playing today. But I mean, they were huge. I mean, this is the forebear to Hotel California. I mean, you got
Mm-hmm.
Desperados next, and then after that.
Yeah, I'm always fascinated by the whole stories. We were talking about session players and just the music scene that was going on back in those days, and how they were all so connected. And because with the Eagles, you had them basically living in an apartments, and Linda Ronstadt's living next door, and Jackson Brown's downstairs, and they all were in the same scene and studios, and all in this various stages of trying to make it.
But so I believe, let me see. It's like Glenn Fry, he was from Detroit, born in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Don Henley was born in Texas. So, I mean, they kind of, amalgamation of, I don't know how to spell it, but amalgamation
Sounded good.
of blues,
Mm-hmm.
country, rock, kind of all mixed together.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they had their formula obviously worked.
Yes. Yeah. It was. I'd like to see. I've yet to see them. I wouldn't mind going to see them in the Sphere, even though Glenn Fry's no longer around.
Yeah.
No, I would not. I wouldn't mind seeing them. All right. Since you mentioned it, we will talk about Boston. I mean, you've got More Than a Feeling, Peace of Mind, A Long Time, Rock and Roll Band, Smoking, Something About You. I mean, the whole album is like a greatest hits.
I mean, it's a fantastic album. And the singer, Brad Delp, unbelievable singer. He is just crazy good. Go on YouTube and find Isolated Vocals by Brad Delp.
Oh yeah. Well, he's a musician. That's not the word. He's a magician in the studio.
Man, just his vocals.
Yeah,
it's a great album. I have nothing wrong with the album. I'm not, but I believe sometimes his Tom Schultz, the guitarist,
yeah,
and the founder of the band, that guitar sound.
Yeah, it can carry on, and you listen to the second album and the third album.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're taking those snapshots, like one album, the first album, and just listening to that. But if you listen to all their albums, it's like, come on, can you do something make sounds different?
Yeah, they only had 3 singles, even though a lot of the songs got airplay off this album. So More Than a Feeling, Peace of Mind, and Foreplay Long Time were the ones. But yeah, it's an interesting story about how he put this together, because he's a magician in the studio. So he was basically crafting this album, and then he basically does most things himself, and then he brings in musicians after the fact. Yeah, including singers. And one of the episodes that I want to do at some point is like perfect rock songs, because yeah, there's one on here.
The feeling.
That song is just,
it's good.
If you can't listen to that song and just like sit there and just take you back, that's just I think just a perfect rock song. And every time it comes on, I just pause and listen to it.
That song, I think especially it still sounds fresh today.
It does. It does.
Yeah, it has stood the test of time, and that if you could put a 15-year-old in your car and turn that song on and crank it, I think they'd enjoy it.
This one. So the industry recognized how good this album was when it debuted. It was nominated for a Grammy, lost to Starland Vocal, who put out the song "Afternoon Delight." So, but it was Boston became hugely popular, and Boston probably would have been bigger, but because he was such a magician in the studio, he refused to rush out albums like all the other artists were forced to by their record labels, and he was like, "I'm not putting anything out until I'm ready to put it out."
Well, he was also, I think he went to MIT,
Mm-hmm.
and so he was a bit of a nerd, and he came up with that sound.
Yep.
But I would say he was probably such a genius that he would accept no less than perfection in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I've said before that I think Tom Schultz from Boston is a genius, but he knew when to say stop.
Yes.
Vinnie Vincent is a genius, in my opinion.
He can't say stop.
But he has no control. Does not know when to say stop. Like turn the album in and run with it.
Yeah, he could be a genius, but no one knows. All right, I've got two left. I've got my favorite, and then I got one more.
I got one more.
Okay, let me give you my one more, my one extra, and then we'll get to the last two. So I didn't want to put this one on the list, but the more I read about it, and I was like, I got to put this on. And it's got one of my favorite songs ever on it as well. It's the Cars debut.
That's mine.
And this is your top one?
This is my top one.
Okay, well let's talk about it then, because then we only have two left. So this is we're look at that. We're like sliding right into.
Well, I have no more. This is my.
I only have one after this.
So yeah, I put this album on all the time.
This is a great
album. Love this album.
This has got Good Times Roll, Best Friends Girl, Just What I Needed, You're All I've Got Tonight, Bye Bye Love, all mixed up, and then my favorite song, Moving in Stereo.
Yeah, there's not a bad song on this album. It is 35 minutes and 20 seconds of pure pop perfection.
Yeah, and so this is also multi-platinum. Probably it was 6 times at one point, so it's higher than that now. Only 3 singles off this album.
Yeah,
but lots of play.
Oh, and what I really liked about this album is I preferred the Benjamin Orr songs over the Ric Ocasek.
Yeah, it's funny. So I wasn't a huge Cars fan back in the day, and when I would listen to them, I didn't know they had 2 singers because I thought their voices were very similar, and so it wasn't until much later that I realized that's not all Ric Ocasek. Yeah, but yeah, it's just a great album, and Moving in Stereo, and of course that plays to one of the greatest all-time movie scenes ever. Can't believe that movie didn't win Academy Award.
Is that
Fast Times at Ridgemont High? Yeah. So yes. See, now this. So of course I know then my number one is not on your list. This one was close for me. This is a great song, but my number one album, best debut, I think is Milo.
I considered putting that on there. Now,
this album,
if you look at it, he actually had another album with somebody else.
Oh yeah, another debut. Oh, you're talking about the Stony and Meatloaf? Well, you
Yes,
can't count that.
I know.
Yeah, you can't take that. This album had 5 singles from it. Of course, you've got Paradise by the Dashboard Light,
which I never really cared for.
You've got You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth, Heaven Can Wait, and 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Ain't bad.
Yeah.
I love that song. That's a great song.
Yeah, that's a great song. So this, from a debut standpoint, I mean, it's wild how this thing came together, and record companies didn't want to touch it. Because it was the same thing like when Queen went through, and of course Queen already had a couple albums in by the time they tried to do Bohemian Rhapsody. So they had a little bit of sway. Then you had Meatloaf and Jim Steinman coming in and trying to put this album together, and Paradise by the Dashboard Light is 8 minutes long.
I remember watching the video on MTV or whatever back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I could never get to the point where I like that song. I tried.
Yeah, you tried? Okay.
Yeah, I tried.
I love that song. I love the whole album. I think it's just an amazing. I like just about every song where Jim Steinman, the co-writer on this, has written other songs for other people. I like those songs too.
Okay, I got a quest for everybody.
Okay.
Watching, listening.
Yes.
Tell us which debut album was better, Meatloaf or The Car?
That's an unfair question.
Why? Is mine and yours?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Which one's the best debut album?
Okay. The Cars or Meatloaf? Yeah.
I am on record of saying The Cars.
Yeah. I think Meatloaf sold more.
Oh, I would say so. I would bet. That was a huge album.
That's saying, so on here, it's telling me that it sold 43 million copies. Worldwide, making it one of the best-selling albums of all time. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, so Jim Steinman. So we were talking about the other songs that he wrote for, but he wrote for Bonnie Tyler. He did
Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Yeah, he did Total Eclipse of the Heart. He also did the other one that he wrote for Air Supply, he wrote for Barry Manilow, even the Sisters of Mercy. But yeah, it's funny. A bunch of the other bands we talked about had sustained success after their debuts. This one really did not. Yeah. There wasn't, and then Meatloaf came back with Bat of the Hell 2 later on. I think it was in the 90s that came out. And that had some big hits on it too, but nothing compared to what this debut was. So this one was very different to some of the other ones because those bands really kept going.
Yesterday was actually the anniversary of his death.
Oh, I missed that. So that's our favorite debuts of the 70s, with your favorite being The Cars and mine being Meatloaf. And we'd love to hear what you think. And who do we miss? Who do we miss?
Who do we miss? What debut album should have been on our list?
Yeah, we'd miss. I added Queen and Journey just so I would mention them because they had debuts. And yeah, who did we miss? You can let us know, because we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter X, on YouTube, and you can comment on there to let us know on any of those pages, and you can like and share and subscribe to the show. And we are going, as I mentioned, we're going to do a best favorite debuts from the 80s, which will probably encompass hair bands, but we want to do a hair band one only as well. So we'll do that too. And then the 90s. which is not usually a decade we venture too much into. It'll be a stretch for us.
I think I would say most of mine will probably be in the early 90s.
Probably mine too. I have to look. I have not looked at that list yet.
Yeah.
So I did look at the hairband list. That'll be fun.
Well, I can do that all day long.
Yeah. Well, that'll be that'll be a fun. The question will be, and I've not gone back to look to see the other debuts from the 80s, is how many debuts can I get that aren't hairbands that I like?
Oh, I think you'll do it. I think it's probably going to be easier than what you think.
Probably so. So maybe we'll decide. We always decide. We have a text back and forth, and it's a very strategic, professional decision-making process where we come up with our next show.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's our show. Do you have anything else to add for that?
I believe that's it, and I'm looking forward to talking about the 80s.
Okay, we'll be back to talk about the 80s. Until then, I'm Jeff Beach.
I'm Joey Graves.
And we'll talk to you soon.
See ya.